raffle for a team signed ball and jersey. Tickets are $1 each, and the winner will be announced at halftime. All proceeds are benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
David Box. I think I can get that.
David Box. John C. Moon.
Giuseppe Semino. Adam Duck. Daniel Aiken. Billy Johns.
Billy Joel. 2 and 2.
Yes.
Let's see your women won.
Yes. I did not get to watch that one.
Hey, you better get your milkshake. Strawberry.
It's been a
No, I ain't doing anything.
always ask that. Is Tommy working?
Solve water problems.
Shuffle it up there. Grab somebody's hand.
Unique with him now.
There you go. There you go. Come on, don't be shy. Shuffle up. Young lady, come on. Come on, young lady.
Go, fellas, switch on now.
Now for the starting lineups. Each team is being walked out today by area youth soccer players. First for our visitors from Aiken, South Carolina. USC Aiken is under direction of head coach Ike Foji and assisted by Eugene Eschen Phillips. Goalkeeper number 1, Alejandro Chavaria. Number 3, David Box. Number 4, Zach Simon. Number 5, Ronaldo Bailey. Number 8, Andre Salviano. Number 10, Daniel Orlak. Number 11, Jordan Misery. Number 19, Neil Hamilton. Number 20, Oliver McCallan. Number 21, Killian Martin. Number 23, Sammy Viata. And number 24, Billy John. Now, for your Mountain Lions, Young Harris is under direction of head coach Mark McKeever and assisted by Dean Gray and Jordan Bell. Goalkeeper number 1, Alex Iglesias. Number 4, Alex Finn. Number 6, Danny Fisher. Number 8, Val Feeney. Number 9, Mikey Rowe. Number 10, Mehdi Hidan. Number 11, Carlos Gomez. Number 14, Seba Andreasen. Number 16, James Thomas. Number 17, Kevin Koifage. And number 18, Jessen Vanderbloom. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the YHC Soccer and Lacrosse Field on the campus of Young Harris College in the beautiful Brasstown Valley, located in Young Harris, Georgia, for Young Harris men's soccer Peach Belt opener today. Young Harris playing host to USC Aiken, the Pacers out of Aiken, South Carolina. Game got pushed back about 20 minutes or so, got into some tourist traffic on the way up that kind of a little more than they thought, but John, we're here. It's not lightning. Tommy Jenkins and John Krieger with you on this exciting Peach Belt opener for both teams.
Tommy, I believe the moral of that story is don't come to Young Harris through Helen.
Absolutely. There are alternate routes. No doubt about it. Young Harris coming into this one 6-0, nationally ranked at number 4. Young Harris really on a roll right now, playing well. Mikey Rowe, one of the leading scorers in the nation with 11 goals already on the season, already has a hat kick under his belt. USC Aiken coming in at 2-2, but winners of their last time out, actually winners the last 2 in a row. It's Peach Belt play. You can't take nothing for granted, John.
You take absolutely nothing for granted. This is where the main bulk of your season starts. This is what you're in training for. You're ready to come out and make a statement. And with Young Harris, we're always ready to make a statement that we want to claim the crown of the Peach Belt again.
A little bit late getting started when I got the text message that we were pushing it back to 4:30, which we actually getting started a little earlier than 4:30. My first reaction was to look up in the sky and say, where in the world is the lightning at? But that wasn't the case, but we are here. And it's a nice day, a little bit overcast, but beautiful day for soccer. And before we get too deep into this one, we want to say congratulations, John, to our women's squad. A big 1-0 victory over in Florence, South Carolina against Francis Marion yesterday. Good win for the Mountain Lions.
Good win for the Mountain Lions, yes, sir, indeed. 1-0 off of a goal late in the first half by Lucero Raballo. It's very positive for the Lady Mountain Lions. I'm very happy to see that they got the positive result. Also happy to see that fortunately Francis Marion was able to withstand the storm, and we were able to have a match in South Carolina yesterday.
And just one other thing I want to get under our belt. Your guys, the guys that you work with, the developmental squad, had, from what I was told, just a great game, a 1-1 tie against Limestone, correct?
That is correct. We did that Thursday evening here at the Young Harris Field. It was a well-played match. Limestone went up early, and we fought back. Ended with the 1-1 draw. And positives to take away from the match.
Young Harris, who has been very successful playing defense, pressuring and mostly then making their opponent have to play defense the whole game. So it's starting with the defensive intensity, and they're just keeping the ball on their side of the field offensively and wearing it down. But expect when we get into Peach Belt play that intensity is going to be a lot more coming from the other side.
Well, intensity and quality of opponent are both going to increase as the conference schedule gets into full swing. There's some very high-quality teams in the Peach Belt Conference, as we've discussed many times in the past. But, again, as you alluded to, a trademark of a Mark McKeever team is that extremely high press. Young Harris constantly looking to force the other team to turn the ball over all the way from the goalkeeper up.
A note of interest for Young Harris today, and this is something maybe we'll see more and more as the season progresses. Freshman out of Rotterdam, Netherlands, Jessen van der Ploem, is going to be starting today for the Mountain Lions, and excited for him. He really played well in extended playing time last time out in the win over Auburn Montgomery.
Well, he's filling in today for Macaulay King, who is still out injured. I'm not sure what the injury is, but he is working his way back. I've seen him in training the last couple days. He's moving more often and better, so I think it's just a matter of a few days before he's back in the lineup as well.
Mac didn't go the last time out against Auburn Montgomery. Still, Young Harris just really dominated that game. I think it was something like 31 shots with maybe 21 on goal and maybe just 4 shots the entire game, only 1 for Auburn Montgomery. But you can, as you alluded to, John, you can already see the difference in the level of the competition. As USC Aiken, they didn't sit in Helen just to sit over here. They came to play.
That is true. Hopefully, though, they left their game in Helen.
Absolutely. Sven throws in for Young Harris. Aiken coached by head coach Ike Ofoji. He is assisted by Eugene Eschen Phillips. Young Harris, of course, head coach Mark McKeever, assisted by Dean Gray and Jordan Bell. This is Val Feeney bringing the ball over to Young Harris left side to Danny Fisher. Long pass trying to track down.
He finds Sabo right at the corner flag. Sabo able to play it off the Aiken player for a Young Harris corner early in this match.
And talking about Macaulay King, that is just something he is so gifted at. He can take that long pass right on the money.
He most definitely can. Yes, he's one of the most gifted that I've seen able to do that. There's many that try it, and very few that actually succeed. Danny, though, looks like he might be able to fill that role as well, as he just did the same. Here he comes running all the way over from the left side to take this in-swinging corner kick for Young Harris.
Kick comes, tapped out by the goalie. In goal today for Aiken is Alejandro Xaviera, sophomore out of Madrid, Spain. And, of course, Alex Iglesias, the junior from Alicante, Spain, in goal for Young Harris. Quick throw in, James Thomas down to Hadan. Tried to get it on the right side to Thomas. Ball took away by Aiken.
Both teams still trying to feel each other out right now, Tommy.
Right.
On another positive area note, and of course special to Young Harris is one of their previous baseball players and his Major League Baseball team clinched the National League East Division today with a victory over the Phillies.
Yeah, the 30-minute, or as it turned out, 20-minute bus delay got me. I just went back home, said I'm going to try to catch the end of the ball game, and was able to catch it. Great win.
Obviously former Mountain Lion Nick Markakis with the Atlanta Braves now.
Yep, and one of their really mantelpieces on that club. Maybe his best year ever, certainly his best year as a Brave. And That coming, wow, John, when he's getting up to close to our age.
Yes, indeed, sir. James Thomas connecting. Looks like Carlos. Back to James. We'll find Saba, but Young Harris not able to capitalize at the moment. They do retain possession. Val Feeney switching fields over to Yessen. Finds Danny down the left side. Fisher played the ball in. Keeper comes out, collects easily. Saban not able to wrangle off of his defender.
Young Harris also, just with good depth that Coach McKeever has. Alex Jacques, who really had the beautiful kick out of the corner assist with the goal. Not in the lineup as of right now. Good depth on this team.
Very good depth on this squad, but you have to have that kind of depth to have a quality team for the length of a season that we play. That just goes back to the recruiting that Coach McKeever's able to do. Always finding quality everywhere he seems to look.
One of my fascinations about the college game, especially at this level, is how right now the wheels are turning on what are we going to have next year. Was just looking at Young Harris, for example, in their baseball. And of course I realize that these things are opinion based, but a service had them at the number 2 ranked incoming class coming in this year, and that's freshmen and transfers alike. But then when you talk to the guys down on the ground handling that stuff, they say, well, we had a good class this year, but wait till what you see what we're going to bring in next year. So already it starts. It starts now, and they're already doing the groundwork and lay it out to get the guys in for next year as well. It's just fascinating to me.
Well, that's it. Next season's already started, and it begins with the recruiting phase, and that is a full year, sometimes even 2 years ahead of the actual season that you're playing now.
Nice header, Alex Schvinn.
Gomez with the flick toward goal. Aiken keeper easily able to handle that.
No score in this one in the early going. Both teams still just in the process of feeling each other out. Vanderplume long pass down to James Thomas.
Yes, sir. James holding just a little too long. Fortunate he didn't have his pocket picked on that one. Aiken had the touch, but not able to nick it all the way.
Aiken ball now working their right sideline. Vanderplume steps in. Ball will belong to Aiken. They'll throw in over by the spectator section.
Good crowd showing up today so far,
it really
Tommy.
is. It really is.
It's youth day here, but even without that, there is a sizable crowd on a day where it's 87 degrees at kickoff.
Yep, and you'll see it pick up a little bit as you go. Young Harris next time out will be hitting the road at Lenore Ryan. And John, you've talked about it a lot in this area. The teams that you really need to establish on the L's: Lenore Ryan, Limestone, and Lander.
That's it. Lincoln Memorial as well.
Lincoln Memorial, which we've already got the win in that very physical matchup.
All of those teams constantly and persistently ranked in the top 25 in the country in Division II. Always, you tend to see all of them in the NCAA tournament after the end of the regular season.
Trying to get the long pass down to James Thomas. Knocked out by David Box quickly. Young Harris does not hesitate with the throw in, do they? We get it in quickly.
They most definitely don't. These boys like having the ball in play. They like having it at their feet right away. They don't like delaying and waiting.
Quick pickup by Mikey Rowe, but coach wanting Danny Fisher to get it in. And he'll get it to Rowe, who looks inside. Gomez over to Saber. Header left side. Wide left.
Very wide. That would have been out for a throw in if he were not offside. Coach McKeever not happy with his player being offside either.
Not happy at all.
You can already tell Tommy that Young Harris is facing a much more quality opponent than what they had their last time out. They're struggling to retain possession. I mean, they're doing a fine job of it, but they're not having as easy a time of it as they did last.
Right. I mean, and again, this is no disrespect to our opponent Tuesday, the last time out, but just light years better.
Light years better. Then again, we've also had a couple lineup changes from what we had Tuesday as well.
Sure.
Injuries, things of that nature. I don't know for sure of Alex Jack whether he's got an injury. I do know I saw him grabbing his hamstring when he came out of the game Tuesday against AUM.
Right.
So that could be an issue as to why he's not in the starting lineup today.
No score in this one as we are getting to the halfway mark of the first half. Feeney works the left side. Long pass over to the right side to Thomas.
He isn't able to find Mehdi Hadan, who finds James streaking in on the backside on the right. Plays the ball in, low cross. Unable to finish. Ball deflected. That was Mikey Rowe streaking into the box, attempting to take the shot. Again, we talked about it before, his versatility, Mikey's, and here he is today lined up in yet another position.
Right.
He's playing out on the left wing. Had a discussion with that fine young gentleman the other night, Tommy, after our development team match. Mikey was over in the practice field working with some much younger boys, helped coach some of these youth teams. Found out for sure that we've always got some international viewers to our broadcast. His recently retired grandfather and grandmother watch every game.
Really? Well, that's great.
So I'd like to say hello to Mikey Rowe's grandparents. Wish his grandfather a happy retirement.
Absolutely. It would be, I think, about 11:30, 11:45 over there now. So stay up with us, and barring any lightning delays, we'll get you to bed at a decent hour. And we got a player down for the Pacers. So we're going to got a timeout on the field. So we'll take a timeout here as well. No score in this Peach Belt opener. Mountain Lion Soccer on the Mountain Lion Sports Network, powered by Ridgeline TV. Okay, quickly back live. Hope the USC Aiken player's okay.
He is. He just stepped back onto the pitch right here at midfield. Immediately pressuring Schfint. And Harris just seeming to have a little bit of communication issues with each other on the field currently. And they need to work through this quickly. Seem to be spending a lot more time than normal on the ball. Young Harris able to earn a throw deep in the left side.
And a player goes down. We're going to have a foul.
Referee going to have a discussion with Mr. Thomas.
So it will be Aiken ball. Discussion over. Long kick coming down to the left side.
Off an Aiken player. Young Harris goal kick.
Still, John, it seems as although maybe Young Harris not as crisp as putting their passes together, they're still keeping Aiken on the defensive end most of the time.
They are. The Mountain Lions are still looking out of sorts a little bit. I think probably they were down here at the field beginning their warm-up when they first found out about the delay.
Right.
That's probably played a little bit into it. Their warm-ups went probably a little bit longer than normal. It plays with the mindset as well. We'll see if they can get it together now that we've got the match started and everybody's starting to get their anxiety out and they're starting to run around the field a little bit.
And it's been an interesting season for the Mountain Lions. They've had to deal with a lot of delays. It's been a kick coming from Rowe.
They really ought to be used to the delays by now,
Absolutely.
Tommy.
We've had them. Some long ones.
Very much.
And every time I look, seems like the crowd gets a little bigger.
It's always good.
Always. It is a youth day, community promotional day here. Group does a great job. Community proactive.
Don able to draw the foul. In fact, you can hear Coach McKeever saying it on the sideline. Everybody's flat. Queefeek able to pick up James Thomas, though. Long switch field from the left to the right. Don looking to play with a little bit of give and go with Andreasen. Andreasen ends up playing back to Thomas, plays across.
Here comes Mikey with a shot. It gets
Mikey
in.
Rowe. What a touch out of the air.
What
That
a
first
touch.
touch by Mikey.
Almost slow motion going in.
It very much was. He got the touch, spun around, toe poked it. Went off the post. I'm not sure if it went in or if there was a touch by a charging Young Harris player to finish it off.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. Don't know if it had already crossed that line, but Hayden will tell us in just a second.
We'll find out shortly.
So Young Harris on the board, 1-0. That much we do know.
Either way, Mikey's got some statistics for him today. He's either got the goal or the assist.
Got the assist, yep.
I imagine there'll be some discussion with the players when halftime rolls as to which one actually put it over the line.
Yeah.
Still, though, that first touch out of the air by Mikey Rowe, that was
Amazing, yeah. Absolutely.
That goal was scored by Young Harris, number 11, Carlos Gomez.
So it was Carlos
His
Gomez.
sixth of the season, assisted by number 9, Mikey Rowe, at a time of 1935.
Mikey
Young
with the
Harris
assist
leads
came
1
at
to
1939.
nothing.
that gives Mikey 3 assists on the season. That'll be 6th goal for Carlos Gomez. We talked about it last time, Tommy. These players, they don't really seem to mind whether they're scoring or whether they're helping somebody else score, just as long as the job gets done.
Right. Absolutely. Love to. Got to check that one out on YouTube. That was fun to watch. Kafik with a long pass trying to hit Thomas. Can't get it there, but Vanderplume gets the head on it. Question for you, John. Has Young Harris trailed in a match this year?
Oh, that's a good question, Tommy.
I don't think we have.
No, I think we've been on the front foot all season. Hopefully it stays that way.
Right.
I don't like trailing.
No. It's too stressful.
Very much. One of those questions for statisticians that keep track of everything.
Everything.
Poor giveaway by Young Harris in the middle of the field. Aiken player able to take and drive.
Save for Iglesias.
Fairly comfortably in the end. I mean, we do look slow today.
We
Tommy.
really do.
And again, it could have been the delay. It could partially be part of the heat. I don't know. Hopefully these lads didn't have pasta for lunch today.
Right.
You know.
Stand up, no foul, no foul. Good.
Young Harris able to earn a corner kick right there, Tommy.
Yep.
Great pressure by James Thomas, not giving up on that.
Absolutely. And let's see at the goal now. Maybe get Young Harris a little bit of rise in the intensity.
And here, for receiving and then processing, wait.
Probably.
Do your thinking before you get the ball.
No, they don't
The
do
team
that
is
much.
holding a raffle for a team
Not
signed
till
ball and
not till
jersey. Tickets are
spring.
$1 each. Winner
No,
will be
these-
announced at halftime, and all proceeds benefiting
Most of
the
these
Make-A-Wish
boys take
Foundation.
their fitness very seriously
They
with
really
this,
do.
and they definitely watch their meals on days before games and especially game days. They
Game
don't want
day.
anything that sits heavy in the stomach, anything that takes forever to digest. They want to be able to metabolize it quickly.
Now they got one certain guy down there that can't stay away from the milkshakes, but his name will remain anonymous.
There's no way to talk about the referees, Tommy.
Coming in for USC Aiken, number
So what's
14,
next with
Giuseppe
JV,
Cimino.
developmental squad? What you got next? When, where, and whom?
I believe that's going to be this Thursday here at the wonderful Young Harris Soccer and Lacrosse Field. And that will be 7 o'clock against Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, okay.
Thursday, September 27th. Be nice to have a night game.
Yeah, it will.
Hopefully the temperature won't be 87.
Well, I'm just checking the Weather Channel out earlier today. Supposed to be about a 10-degree drop in the highs, which I got
Coming in
out
for
and
Young
did my
Harris, number 19,
6:45 walk this morning,
Olsen.
and the weather was just absolutely beautiful at that time of the morning.
It was, but it didn't take long to heat up.
Now, once the sun comes up, it gets pretty brutal.
I mean, we're still unusually and unseasonably hot.
Oh, it's terrible.
Sondre Olsen in for Mediadon for the Mountain Lions.
And
Shortest man on the field, Valfini, winning the header. Oh, wait, I may have spoke too soon.
and it has been a bumper crop year for spiders.
It most definitely has.
I've never seen anything like it. They're taking over. And that could be maybe the University of Richmond. They're the Spiders. Maybe it's an omen that it's going to be a great year for them athletically.
It could be. They've got a Union County player on their football
That's
team.
right, they do. Does he play much? I haven't ever had a chance to keep up with that.
I know he's had some play time this
Coming in
year.
for Aiken,
Good.
number
Not sure how
17,
much, but he has.
Ricard St. Till.
Andre Salviano comes out for the Pacers. Good physical, hard play. James Thomas, hard-nosed on the defensive end that time.
That was a good take from the USC player, number 11. He did a good job, just ended up tripping over the ball at the very end. Young Harris asking for the card. They'll get the yellow. That was very close to being denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Referee's not going to allow Young Harris to take the quick free kick.
They were ready to go with it, weren't they?
Most definitely. James with the free kick. Quickly turns around for a Aiken free kick. USC Aiken, that's what, the Pacers, isn't that correct, Tommy?
The Pacers, yep.
Okay.
Young Harris right now with 4 shots, 3 on goal. 1 shot for Aiken, it was on goal. Young Harris leads 1-0. We are somewhere in the neighborhood of 27, 28, 29 minutes into this thing.
Mikey holding the ball a little too long there. I think he was attempting to turn his defender. When he turned one way, there was one defender. He tried to turn the other way, and another one stepped right in, took the ball away. Sondre coming back to be an outlet for the back line there. Does a good job.
Valfini is so solid and smooth out there, isn't he?
He is a calming factor for the holding mids. goalkeeper does a fine job of being able to keep that ball inside the penalty area.
Yeah, he really did, because that could have been dangerous for Aiken, could it not?
It could have very much been. James Thomas was right there. And there's James the other way.
James all over the place. His intensity level seeming to really pick up, as is the crowd.
Good job by Seba to settle that ball and play Mikey Rowe. Finds Carlos Gomez onside. Challenges with the keeper. We'll find out which way this is going to go. I'm not sure what the referees are discussing. That was a 50-50 ball. Both players have a right to it. They just both slid and both collided with each other.
Carlos Gomez a little slow in getting up, as is the goalie.
Yes, sir.
James Thomas doing the lobbying down there for our lads.
Referee pulled a Pacer player, number 20, off to the side to have a discussion with him.
So we still don't really know, but I tell you what we'll do. We'll take a quick break. 1-0 Young Harris leads. Mountain Line Soccer, Ridgeline TV. So we'll get back. Carlos Gomez has been carted off, but he looks like just took a shot to the head, looks like. He's Haley came over and talked to Coach McKeever. We got Connor Stanley, who has checked in his stead, and the ball will belong to the Pacers.
Coming in for Young Harris, number 13, Connor Stanley.
Pacer goalkeeper able to stay in the match. Alejandro Chavadia. Evidently the referees deemed that Gomez committed a foul on that. They gave the free kick to the Pacers. Val Feeney finding Olsen streaking down the left side. Sandre loses the ball over the end line for a goal kick for the Pacers.
Score remains at 1-0. Goal from Carlos Gomez, who just went out of the game. Went out on the cart, but stood up and seemed to be looking pretty good down there.
Good pressure from James Thomas. Alex Fint also jumping in there.
James, he's really been bringing the intensity pretty good in the last 10 or 15.
Well, just shows he's trying to prove that he's a leader on the field.
Absolutely.
Fisher giving the ball away on the left side. Feeney committing the foul. Coach McKeever not happy with Fisher at all. I'd have to agree with him. Danny acted like he had all day upon the ball. Defender closed him down, caused him to make a bad pass. Danny's a much better player than that.
Sure.
Come on, together! Together!
Taking a look at this number 5 for the Pacers, Ronaldo Bailey, 6'2", 190-pound junior out of St. James, Barbados. That's a big man down there, John.
That is definitely a big man. Hailing from the Caribbean nations.
Yeah, and a very solid 190. He looks more like what you would see an NCAA linebacker.
I think 190 might be a little bit shy.
It looks shy. Big man, moves well though.
Andreasen able to find Connor Stanley in the middle of the field. Ends up losing the ball. Feeney does a good job of chasing it down, looking to switch fields over to James Thomas. Thomas double teamed at the moment. Loses the ball.
And
Hustles back defensively too.
John, haven't we been doing that a lot today? Really playing, moving the ball over to the right side to Thomas and playing through him a lot with that long pass, switching sides of the field?
We have a little bit more than what I'd like to see. It's almost becoming predictable at this point.
Okay.
I mean, I say that because the Pacers saw it coming, and Thomas was double teamed immediately upon receiving of the ball.
It just seems like we're doing it more so today than I can remember
Yes.
seeing.
We should do a better job of moving off the ball in the middle of the field and try and play on the ground through the middle. Up the side wings as well. Much like what we're seeing right now. That was much better from the Mountain Lions.
Well done, boys. Well done. Come on, make it. Come on, Jezza. Come on, Jezza.
Svend. Out of bounds, throw in will be to the Pacers.
Andreasen will have to come out. He's evidently got blood on his uniform somewhere. Blood does not count against the substitution limits.
So Haddon will check back in.
Mehdi substituted out earlier, but again, because he's coming on for a player that had blood on his uniform, he's able to. NCAA, you're only allowed to be subbed once in the first half. Once you've been subbed out, you're not allowed to come back in until the second half. Referee just issued a caution, I think, to the Pacer head coach.
That's what I was thinking. Couldn't tell. We're kind of blocked out, but we saw the card come up high. You could see it over the front lip of the bench area.
He had a discussion, I would assume, with his assistant referee, and then the
And he's saying the Don's got to come out.
okay, so Medi cannot come back in even for the blood issue.
So it's going to be Costa going to come in. Costa
Or not.
Lopez, junior out of Norcross.
Immediately pulled right back off because Saba's been cleaned up in that amount of time that
Okay.
it took to caution the Pacer coach. Yes, I can only assume that was issued to the coach as soon as we saw the yellow card flash just above the shingles of the bench there, I saw their coach sit down.
Yeah, and that's where the discussion seemed to be. Couldn't see for a long time. Knew something was going on down there, but not sure what.
Well done, guys. Well done. Good.
Young Harris finally starting to seem like they're coming to life now. A little more spring in their
Yeah.
step. Of course, part of that could be the cloud cover that's
Could be.
blocking too.
Yes. Yes. Jimsy. Stay back. Warm up.
Sven coming over top two.
Stanley, I think, was looking to try and do a flick for Mikey Rowe running down the backside, but unable to connect. Ball does find its way to Val Feeney, who ends up playing it too long out for a throw for the Pacers.
Yeah. Trying to make the pass down to Rowe, but just left it too long, too high.
Young Harris able to win the throw. Edge of their attacking third. Irish connection there, Rowe to Feeney. Val doing a fine job of stepping into the spot where Alex Fent left briefly.
Good boy, Seba. Good boy, Seba.
Saban now making the pass, trying to get Stanley.
Saba find Thomas. Thomas able to find Stanley finally. Stanley's cross able to be played out by the Pacers. Val Feeney with the immediate pressure.
Isn't he
Young Harris
amazing?
wins the ball back.
He is just so solid out there.
Now we're starting to see the pressure that we're used to seeing from the Mountain Lions.
Exactly.
Pacers are not getting a chance right now. Young Harris is
And Young Harris stringing the passes together somewhat better, John.
they were, and then Danny lost that ball right there. He did an excellent job of chasing back. Young Harris able to reset the defense, but still they need to go ahead and win the ball back. Pacer shot, well-driven shot on goal, handled easily by Iglesias, though he saw it the whole way.
Quickly out to Fisher. He's got Rowe in the middle. Cutting across is Stanley.
Saba there loses the ball. Excellent defensive effort by Schvent. Young Harris able to win the ball back. Olsen holding just a little bit, put under pressure. Forces Young Harris to have a bad clearance. There's Val Feeney stepping back in, winning the ball. Ball too much pepper on that ball from Svent looking for Andreasen. I don't really understand why we attempted that. We were doing a good job of possessing and going up this right side at that moment.
We're getting late in the first half. Young Harris leads 1-0 on a goal by Carlos Gomez. Assist coming from Mikey Rowe. Young Harris with 4 shots, 3 on goal, 2 shots, both of those on goal for.
I believe the referee
USC
just
Aiken.
issued a caution to James Thomas. Now Mikey Rowe, being the captain, is going to go have a word with the official.
James has been a good orator out there all day. The hands have been in action constantly. So shot looked like it's going to come from Jordan Masiri, senior out of Concord, New Hampshire.
You're hurting the catch, referee. That's all you're doing. You're hurting the catch. Nonsense if you could hear like that on this year. Of a record-breaking challenge to go unnoticed. Going to book it as a valid question.
Shot coming.
Glacia saw it the whole way, handles it quite easily.
Throws it out to Sven. Young Harris will start again. Young Harris seem to be building a little momentum. The last few minutes, that momentum's flattened out a bit. Rowe goes down hard. He's lobbying.
Referee takes a look at his assistant, and we do get the foul there. A lot of stoppages in this first half.
Really is. It's been a long first half, no doubt.
Hard to gain a good rhythm in a match when it's constantly starting and stopping. Fisher finds Rowe, who drives past 2 players, looking to go past a third. Unable to. Ball gets tapped to Feeney, finds James Thomas.
James able to keep the ball in bounds.
Takes on 2 players. Able to find Yezin in the middle. Goes out left to Olsen. Finds Connor Stanley driving. Plays the ball into Mikey Rowe, left-footed shot. Saved by the keeper.
Val hustling to track it back down. Sven kicks the ball out of bounds. It will be Pacer ball on the side for throw in.
Yep, I think we're starting to see a little fire in the
Coming in
bellies
for
of
Aiken,
the
number
Mountain Lions
9.
again, Tommy.
Yeah, we really are. First half coming down to an end.
Andreasen providing the high pressure, followed up by Rowe.
Yeah, Mikey was coming hard on that one.
He was. Saba decided to go all by himself. Mikey with the good recognition, realizing that he can't just go by himself. Another caution issued by the referee.
Looks like Jessen Vanderplume who's down.
Yes, sir, it's Jessen.
Yep. Good sportsmanship. Had an opponent, Gatsby Semenio, if I'm saying that right, out of Panama City, Panama. Alex Trebek, I'm not. Just under 2 minutes. And this Peach Belt opener for both squads. Young Harris coming in 6-0, nationally ranked. USC Aiken 2-2, but winners of their last two.
Make it count. Make it count. Make it count.
Again, a lot of stoppage play here.
1 minute remaining.
Young Harris trying to look to go in halftime up 2-0.
Make it and do your run. Make it go in. Make it
Normally a
go in.
perfect position for Macaulay King, but he's out at the moment. So James Thomas with the kick. Andreasen offside again.
Ten, 9,
Counting down from
8,
10.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And it comes to an end with score Young Harris 1-0 over USC Aiken.
Before
Goal
halftime,
coming from
Young
Carlos
Harris
Gomez
1,
off the assist
USC Aiken
from
0.
Mikey Rowe. In a game that it seemed like that Young Harris was starting to get its legs under till about the
Be sure to
last
stop
7,
by our
8 minutes.
concession stand where you
So
can
much
get the
stoppage
equipment
of
up.
play, it was like nobody could get a
Action
rhythm
green.
going after that.
No, it's been very difficult to hold a rhythm in this match. There's a lot of stoppage of play. Just kind of hard to tell.
Thoughts coming in, execution-wise, adjustments we might see in the second half?
Well, I think they've done a good job of attempting to adjust part of the way through this half. They've started being much quicker on the ball, and as well as off the ball. They're not giving the Pacers the time and opportunity that they were getting at the beginning of the match. I'm sure Coach McKeever will have some words for his player at halftime, some of which will be "Don't say anything to the official."
Yeah.
So I think Young Harris just come out, do what they normally do. I think we'll take this and put another 2 on the board in the second half.
Sounds good. 1-0 your halftime score. We'll take a break. It is halftime at the YHC Soccer and Lacrosse Field. Mountain Lion Soccer on the Mountain Lion Sports Network, powered by Ridgeline TV.
If you are participating in the Youth Day activities, please meet at center field. Youth Day activities, please meet at center field.
There's not much going on out there.
Have a chair there, boys.
station package can use a little bit more.
See them win that game yesterday, man. They were,
It's big for them. They needed that. Because what's the next one? Columbus State
Columbus
here?
State, yeah.
That's not going to be pretty. We're going to try and bunker back and absorb all this pressure, and I don't think we're going to be able to. That's our beat 5 or 6 minutes in. I'll tell you.
You're wondering what I'm doing, but I'm taking some Alka-Seltzer and I don't know. I use the whole thing.
have you talked to your friend Mark C. Moe?
Not lately.
Know how the new job's going.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, he takes a built saws. He's supposed to have a. I need to go down there and see.
Ladies and gentlemen, now time for the Make-A-Wish raffle. Our first prize is a team signed ball.
I remember what it was. Something was.
If your winning ticket is called, please come between the dugouts to claim your prize.
Speaking or something, or.
The first winning ticket is 728752. 728752.
Yeah.
And now for the team signed jersey. Ticket number 728702. 728702.
Is that order yellow on the head coach?
No, I didn't think you should. Yellow card.
They showed a yellow card over here.
Your ticket number is 728702. Make your way between the dugouts for your team signed jersey.
Okay, second half getting ready to get underway here at the YHC Soccer and Lacrosse Field. Good crowd has filtered in here. Young Harris leads 1-0. Carlos Gomez, the goal maker for Young Harris, with the assist from Mikey Rowe. I'm looking, John, don't see Carlos out there. Am I overlooking? No.
No, I don't see him either. He was carted off, had that collision with the Pacer goalkeeper, and they may be keeping him out.
You got the stat sheet in front of you. Anything jumping out at you?
Shots by period, amazingly equal. Aiken with 4 shots, Young Harris with 5. Young Harris in the lead with 2 corner kicks to 0 over the Pacers. Fouls dead even at 8 apiece. It's been a fairly physical game. Referee Casey Black attempting to let them play, but there's been a lot of stoppages as well. Saves knotted up at 3 apiece between Iglesias and Chavaria for the Pacers. You know, overall, stat-wise at least, it's an equal game. I think the one stat we don't have is possession, and I would say Young Harris was probably leading that category in 60-40 or 65.
Yeah, I would say the latter, 65-35. And I have to ask this question. Hot day, hotter on the field than it is up here, which, what am I saying? It's great up here. This air conditioner is working amazing. But it's got to take a little bit of a toll.
It does. It does. The heat coupled with the fact that the Mountain Lions, I'm positive, we're out here warming up at what would have been normal game time for them, and then all of a sudden we get a 20-25 minute delay. I'm sure that took a toll on them.
Did it seem like that maybe from about 20-25 minutes to go to about maybe 8-10 minutes to go that Young Harris was really starting to get into a good rhythm, playing a good job stringing their passes together, putting good pressure on the ball, and that last 8-10 minutes, which seemed like it lasted a month and a half, that just the stoppage of play just brought this thing to a grind?
It did. That's exactly the way I was thinking about it as well, Tommy. All the stoppages in the last 8-10 minutes were nobody could get any kind of rhythm going. And soccer is one of those games about having rhythm and being in sync at the right times, having momentum, things of that nature.
Now, we don't know about Carlos. Hope everything is okay. I mean, he was standing and walking in the bench area once he came off. Wondering if it just could be. Took a pretty hard lick to the head, maybe just concussion protocol. Anything that we would do would be mere speculation. The game goes on. The adjustments Young Harris has made to compensate for their number 2 goal scorer, changes that have been made, which that change was made in the first half, but stepping up to fill his spot.
Young Harris got a number of players that can step in and fill that spot. Obviously, Gomez, very, very good at causing high pressure. He's a focal point in that way for the Mountain Lions. But, again, with the quality of our bench, the depth of our bench, we're able to fill that, and we should be okay going forward. Again, you know, I hope it's nothing serious with Gomez. He's a excellent player, and you know, when he's not scoring goals, which he scored a number last year, this year he's not scoring as many, but he's still providing assists for other people scoring goals.
Right.
So, you know, we hate to lose that quality of a player, but, you know, hopefully, again, it's nothing major. If it is concussion protocol, then we'll probably be missing him for the next match as well.
Sondre Olsen was the player, I believe, that came in, and capable player.
We brought Sondre in, moved him over to the left, moved Mikey Rowe up into the middle. You know, that's just some of that versatility of Rowe being able to play so many different positions. Now we've got Andreasen down. He took a knock to the head, I think, from a player's arm or elbow.
And that you're talking about moving Mikey over to that spot. That's the versatility. You talked about it earlier in the first half. That's the versatility of Mikey. You just about stick him in anywhere and you're going to get production out of him. He's a great study of the game. He just loves playing. When you've got players that are just straight athletes that know the game, love the game, they'll play anywhere as long as they're on the field. That's all they really care about.
I mean, I imagine if the Mountain Lions got into a position and McKeever asked him to put the gloves on and go be a keeper, he would do that as well.
Absolutely.
They'd probably be pretty good at it.
I would say he would do well.
Really look for Young Harris to control the match a lot more in this second half, knock the ball around quicker, not take as much time on the ball, look to keep it on the deck a little bit more, on the deck, on the floor, on the ground, whichever term you prefer. They did a lot of settling for an attempt of the long ball over the top with switch fields and whatnot. And
Shot just came from Mehdi Haddon, hit the post.
obviously we're going to continue with our high pressure game plan. Yezin's doing a decent job of filling in for Macaulay King. Obviously, he doesn't have the experience that Macca does, but he'll get there with enough years.
Sure.
Currently, he's not doing a bad job at all. Andreasen with the foul.
In case you just joined us, Young Harris women were 1-0 winners over at Francis Marion in Florence, South Carolina yesterday. Big win for them. Peach Belt win evens them up at 1-1. They got a tough one coming Wednesday when Columbus State, one of the elite teams in our conference, comes to call. Our men will be in action. They got a tough one on the road Wednesday at Lenore-Ryan. And then Saturday, the men will be at home to take on Georgia Southwestern, while the women will be on the road in Peach Belt play. I always look over one thing about our women's soccer team in all sports, no matter what it is, be it baseball, lacrosse, softball, basketball, you name it. Women's soccer are the best supporters of everybody else's athletics. I mean, they're there. Now, they are faithful supporters, and I see them over there, got a big group of them, look like about 12 or 15. It's always easy for me to spot them from a distance because I can always see Tanisha's hair. I always know where they're at. If I can't tell them it's a long way over, I can pick the hair up and know that they're there. So they've got a nice delegation over there right at midfield. But
she does stand out with the hair, yes, sir.
But congratulations to them. I know that they got to be feeling so much better getting that win. And, John, they've been good defensively this year. They have just a couple of games against West Florida and against Flagler. They took an onslaught of shots on goal in what, a 1-0 and a 2-0 loss?
Yes, sir. They have been very strong defensively. Very proud of them for that. Now, if we can just start moving, transitioning a little further up the field, get the whole program going, and I think there's a bright future for the Lady Mountain Lions.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's funny you talk about them being supporters. I see them out here at every men's game. And then today, I noticed on the television, I was watching some college football. I was watching Notre Dame at Wake Forest, and the Notre Dame women's soccer team were in attendance at that football game because they're in town playing Wake Forest tomorrow in a match.
Right.
So it's just like you said, though, the women's soccer supporting everybody and everything that they can.
Yeah, if you kept points, of who was the most faithful and hey, it's a small school, small town, small campus. Athletes know each other. They have classes with each other. They share the dining hall, so they know each other. If you had a point system, I'm sure that women's soccer, for supporting everybody, would win it every year because they are always at everybody's games.
That might not be a bad idea to pose to Mr. Dunn for
sure.
all of the athletics.
Yeah.
I know myself, I've already got I've already got things worked out with our head baseball coach at Union County High School. So, you know, I'll finish some of our practices early. If baseball's got a game going on, I'll try to let them go support our baseball team.
Sure.
He's going to do the same with us with
Yeah.
soccer.
When the game's over, only you can tell over here. Bench boys think you're on the planet sometimes.
There's the referee again. Stop the clock to have a word with Sondre Olson.
Been a lot of it.
Has been. And I understand the whistle for the foul. There was a clear foul, but let the game go on.
Let the game go on, exactly.
Number of opportunities for both teams to have quick free kicks, but he's brought it back because he wanted to have a word with somebody or finish writing something in his book or just take more time.
Put that ball out of play in the parking lot. So they're going to have to track that one down.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to lose these game balls. We lose enough of them throughout the course of a season.
Sure.
Whether it be in the creek behind the field on one side or the noisy neighbor's yard on the other side. A number of them just end up disappearing.
Creek probably has more baseball, softballs, and lacrosse balls than any creek in America.
It does. If the creek no longer holds them, then Lake Chatoog's got plenty of them.
Absolutely.
Coming in for Aiken, number 8, Andre Salviano.
Andre Salviano checks in for Aiken.
Lake Chatoog holding Bassmasters tournament.
Yeah, I had to run to Hiawassee. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Everybody had pretty well settled in on the ball fields, the fairground fields.
I guess it was last weekend we saw some team trucks here, and then earlier in this week, Monday or Tuesday, when I was driving over here from Blairsville, I was passing some of the ESPN Bassmaster trucks and trailers coming to set up studios.
Right. Yeah, definitely some high-dollar equipment parked in those parking lots over there.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, my mind goes back, if you remember this, I guess it's been probably 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. Young Harris had it for 2 years in a row, had the NCAA fishing championship on Lake Chatoog. And I remember seeing this parking lot across from the village had some of the most beautiful boats, all the team boats. I mean, Auburn, Minnesota, Michigan, you name it. I mean, it was an impressive sight to see. Hope they can get that back here again one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Young Harris hosted that, correct?
2 years in a row,
Yes.
yeah. I'm thinking it was like 13 and 14, 12 and 13 maybe. It's been a few years.
I remember seeing some of it on television and seeing the Young Harris team, and
Yeah, and they did well.
they did well.
No reaction. Be aware of the situation.
Free kick coming.
Foul committed by Yezin Vanderpluim.
Young Harris showing the quality and value of depth. Have had to go the whole game. This is 2 games in a row now without Macaulay King, and then looks like perhaps going to go the second half without Carlos Gomez. That's 2 preseason Peach Belt picks. And yet Young Harris stepping right up, guys filling the holes, not missing a blank.
No, sir. No, that's a testament to the quality of the squad, quality of the coaching staff to able to recruit players.
Off the body, Andreas into Rowe. They work the right side to Thomas. 1-0 game. Young Harris has really dominated in terms of possession, but still very much anybody's game.
Meddy whistled for offside.
Young Harris also going today without Alex Jack. And been without Carl Branson for a long, long time.
We have. He's picked up an injury. He's been back in training. He's working his way back into the rotation as well.
Yeah, I don't think Carl's not been in a regular season game yet. Advance of the ball for USC Aiken. Kofik doing a good job stepping in front of it.
Fisher able to find Hadon. Finds Olson. Loses the ball in the middle of the field.
Getting a good look at it here. Nope. Shot coming. Good shot on goal. Nice job, Iglesias.
Good hands from Iglesias. Young Harris being a little sloppy on the defensive line there.
And Coach McKeever effectively. Here comes Carlos. Good news. Coach McKeever not bashful about sharing his displeasure there, was he?
No, he never is.
So Carlos is going to check back in. He has the lone goal in this contest. Peach Belt opener for both squads.
We knew it coming into the match, Tommy, that Peach Belt Conference competition is going to get better, and it definitely has.
And it's obvious.
It is. I mean, I understand we are playing shorthanded, but still.
Yeah. And that's,
Stepping in for Young Harris, number 11.
you know, and that's something
Carlos
that everybody is going to deal with
Gomez.
in the course of a season. Olson will come out.
Gomez checks in. Rowe comes back out to the left-hand side now, like we started the match with. Andreasen able to hold the ball up, let the Pacers throw it out or play it out for a Young Harris throw. Rowe picking his head up, switching fields. A little too hot for James Thomas on the pass from Schwint. Still play a little disjointed as both teams try to gain a foothold of some possession, string some passes together.
Put it down to Andreasen.
I fail to see how that's not a foul.
Yeah, he went down in a heap.
Well, Andreasen clearly won the ball. The keeper hit him in the back. Made no play on the ball. Andreasen's still struggling to get up. Now the referee will stop the play.
So Andreasen back down. Cart getting ready to go out on the field.
Saba finally back on his feet.
Right.
able to stay in the match. Trainer did not come out onto the field.
So the ball will belong to the Pacers, but
Well, they had possession when the referee blew the whistle. Young Harris did the sporting thing, just played the ball right back
played
to
it
him.
right back to him, right.
And referee stopped the clock again. Wants to have a discussion with the player again. Thomas going to have to be careful. I believe he's already on a yellow.
Right, I think so.
No, I'm incorrect. Jamesy is not on a yellow.
He is not. Okay.
That caution on the official stat sheet, they've got that caution issued to Kevin Quiffique.
Okay.
I thought for sure that had gone to James.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, a little more freedom back for James now.
Yeah, he can be James. I don't.
Quiffique is not a name we've spoken much today.
No.
He's been kind of quiet in the middle. It's just the Pacers have not been able to do a whole lot of challenge on him right there in the middle of the park.
He's been solid for us all year. Played a lot of minutes. A lot of minutes on some hot fields.
I'm not sure he's been taken out of a match yet since he's
remember it.
Stepped on it into the starting lineup.
Junior out of France. Big guy, 6'2", 170. Scored the goal on the beautiful pass, Alex Jack, Tuesday against Auburn Montgomery in that 5-0 win.
Pacers able to string some possession together, driving up into the penalty area for the Mountain Lions.
Stand up! Stand up!
Quick feet by the Pacer player. Eventually he just has to end up playing the ball away.
Yeah, Mikey really just stayed in front of him.
Don able to corral it and play Saba. Young Harris looking to drive and attack now.
Makes the pass coming, Gomez.
Andres finds Gomez on side, takes the shot, deflects off the keeper. Good job by the keeper coming out, blocking the angle. Good step by Danny Fisher, win the ball back for Young Harris.
Absolutely. Rowe looking for some room in the middle. Now he'll first change over to the right side to Thomas. Trying to make the pass down to Gomez.
Game's starting to open up a little bit
It
more.
really is. It really is. It's good to see.
Well, Pacers have to absolutely go for it. I mean, you know, they're being down one. So as they try to make more runs, it's going to open up the defense a little bit more for Young Harris to try and slide in. Find gaps in between defenders, channels to run into.
And look here. Carl Branstrom getting ready to check in, John.
Good to see Carl
Good
back.
to see.
Well, we say that, and then he
Well,
steps away.
Yeah, I hope I didn't get anybody too excited. But that seemed to maybe he was just checking, but he had the white jersey on, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, Carl going in looks like, and I know he's excited.
Hey, guess what, Tommy? The referee's having another discussion.
Can you imagine that?
That's the second discussion with that player as well. I don't know, but if you're having to have more than one discussion with the same player, one of those needs to at least have a card with it.
I can remember the late, great commentator Al McGuire, former basketball coach at Marquette University years ago when Bobby Crim was at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had a pretty good basketball team, was very thin on the bench, and they had a player, can't remember the guy's name, that was kind of like their seventh or eighth player, and said, he's just a dance hall player. All he can kind of do. Carl coming in for James. This is big for young Harris. We can get Carl back in to contribute because he's a player. But so he's just a dance hall player. Just kind of hold on to him and tie him up. That's what's been going on, I feel, with the stoppage of play here. It's just it cannot get no rhythm because it's just the officials are just holding on to him and tying him up, and we're just not. You know, there's a decent little crowd here, and they came to watch a soccer game.
Very much indeed. I don't know, Tommy. I think of it kind of similar to the Tom and Jerry commercial where you've got, Tom and Jerry cartoons where you've got the mouse that comes in playing the guitar. You know, he wants to sing Crambone, but every time he gets started, the string breaks.
Right. Good analogy. It's just it seems like when we get a place that we're just going to see some good soccer, that we're going to just open up and it's going to be flowing like, you know, we've seen these guys play such beautiful. And when it's coming from both sides even. But, boy, it just won't happen. Here comes Andreas.
And excellent ball to Hadon, who plays a heck of a chip for Andreas. And keeper does a great job of coming out.
Hadon staying with it.
Very well done by the keeper for the Pacers.
Keeper is Alejandro Xavier, sophomore out of Madrid, Spain. So Carl Branson, this is Carl's first regular season play. Hurt himself in the last scrimmage, the last of 3 scrimmages. And
it is definitely good to see Carl
yeah
back. He brings an element of speed and the ability to run inline to inline.
Carl, the senior out of Varberg, Sweden. And talked to Carl a lot, and you know he was a little bit concerned, but he stayed with it. He's worked hard, and man, it's good to see him back out there. Kind of had a feeling because I saw him early in the game loosening up the way they'll loosen up down there, and it was just about that body language of, hey, I might get in this one.
Well, you know, coming back from a knee injury, which is what it was with him. Fortunately, there was no extensive damage. It was just a little bit of a strain. I'm glad to see him back.
I am too. Great guy. Just a great guy.
And here are baseball players in the stands behind the Pacer bench.
Yeah, they're in the fan stand over here.
Disagreeing with the
Aiken,
officials'
number 17,
call there.
Ricard St. Hill, number 24, Billy John.
Now, whereas the women's soccer would get the award for best support as far as being there, baseball definitely the most vocal in talking to people. I remember last year, John, a women's lacrosse championship with UHH. The UAH coach, she was going to bring her players off the field unless they were gotten off of the fan stand over here. That's how bad they got under her skin. Now, they can do it.
I use the term loosely. I like to refer to the baseball players that come to support the soccer matches as the hooligans.
Right.
Because they, as you say, they are typically the most vocal.
Oh, yeah,
and they are quick to let you know when they disagree with the call.
And on the night that we had the Battle of Blood Mountain on ESPN, they were in full strength, and saw a few girls down there kind of mixed in them, and saw them the next morning and said, what were you doing with that bunch of bandits down there? And said, boy, said, I don't know. Said, it got awful, got kind of scary down there. But they have a good time. They enjoy what they do.
Well, in the end, that's what it's all about, is having a good time.
Absolutely.
Sept took a finger to the face there.
Yeah, he did. Holding on to the nose, not sure.
And
We're gonna get
Macaulay
Mike
King.
in here.
This will be good. Reintroduction of Macaulay and Carl.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're pulling all our lads out tonight.
Macca and Bernsey. Good to see both of them back there.
Absolutely.
Typically, both of them are starters for our squad.
Sure. And with Lander looming, it's good to be getting everybody healthy.
So we definitely need to get everybody
Coming in
back.
for Young Harris, number 3.
We need to be at full squad for
Macaulay
Lander.
King.
Psychological uplift for Young Harris?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Now we might start seeing some more over the top, though.
Well, he can put it on a dime.
He definitely can. The other thing you see with the return of Macaulay King is the other captain's armband.
Right.
Two captains working well together. Macca comes right off the bench. Looks like he's been in the match all game.
Yeah, and we went down hard on the side there.
Well, let's see if we're just going to have another discussion or a card, or do we have a clock stoppage?
Our counseling session.
Nope, we've got an issue of a card this
Yes,
time.
we do. I believe it was Sabre that went down.
And the referee just issued a red card.
Wow.
Let me check my stat sheet. Yes, that was the second yellow for number 5 for USC Aiken, so he is ejected from the match.
So Ronaldo Bailey. God, we were talking about this. Such a physical specimen out of St. James, Barbados. How much time, John? 17:01, so getting late.
Getting late, Young Harris will play with a man up for 17 minutes. Well, Tommy, you talked about it in the first half. You said he was a specimen. They've got him at 6'2", 190. If he's 190, then I'm just a mere 175 myself.
Absolutely, that's 215 right there.
Easily.
Mack has his legs cut out from under. Still, Young Harris keeps advanced. Branston on the right side, trying to get the ball to I believe it was Finn, but the feet came out from under him. So Young Harris a man up.
They need to take advantage of this opportunity, try and put another one or two in the back of the net.
Wayne Warsop going to check in for the Pacers.
Bad time of day to be Iglesias' eyes. He's staring straight into the sun.
Yeah, he is right into the sun. And on the other end down here, Xaviera's got it made in the shade.
Good job by Young Harris to win the ball back there.
Young Harris being very patient. Bringing now.
It really should be. I mean, Pacers are at a huge disadvantage. They'll be happy to let Young Harris knock it around on the back at the moment. I mean, they just lost their starting defensive showman. I mean, he's the center of the defensive line.
Sure.
I mean, we mentioned it earlier, ever since Quifik, who stepped into that position for the Mountain Lions, ever since he's worked his way to the starting lineup, I don't think he's been subbed out yet.
I don't think so. I can't remember him being out at all.
I don't think he's missed a minute of play. That's how important that position is.
And really,
Rowe looking to find Bernsey out on the right side. Pacers able to play it out for a Young Harris throw.
and really a great job by Coach McKeever and his staff. I mean, you know, you lose Josh Poole and Sam Jones, and you just bring more players in. And as good as they were, it's like we're not missing a step out there.
Reverse that decision somehow. Gave the throw to the Pacers. They're able to make their
Coming
substitutions.
in for Aiken, number 10, Daniel Orlak, and number 12, Owain Warsaw.
So Orlak back in, and Warsaw enters the game for, I believe, the first time. Glacius directing traffic.
Still got some players in some slightly different positions than what they're used to. Macca's over on the right-hand side for the defensive line, as opposed to sitting right in front of them as a holding mid. Yezin still keeping that spot where Macca normally inhabits. There we go. Middle opens up a little bit for Rowe. Pacers do a good job of closing that door. Great patience by the Mountain Lions, just knocking back and forth, waiting on something to open up, trying to stretch the Pacers out widthwise a little bit. They're also doing a good job of keeping their defensive line high. Oh, there it is.
That pass, yep.
There's McCauley. Put it right on his head on the fly. It was Alex Schvent he was looking for, who tried to just push it over for Bernsey. Carl unable to get onto the end of it. Really kind of funny though, Tommy, since the sending off of the Pacer player, I don't remember hearing the whistle since.
Not at all. It will be USC Aiken ball.
Definitely not a time for the Mountain Lions to start falling asleep.
No.
They've got to stay vigilant. Do not let up on the pressure that gets them here.
Pace has picked up a little bit here in the second half as far as the number of shots and shots on goal, but defensive struggle to say the least, but perhaps impeded by a lot of lectures.
Macca finding Mikey streaking down the left, who's fouled. We've got it. There's our stoppage.
Yep.
No card issued.
Ricardo Pineda, junior out of Panama City, Panama. How much time, John? About 10 minutes to go in this one. 10:03. And here it comes. This is going to be Mack on the left side. Oh,
That was it. That was a beautiful service in from Macca. Low, well driven. All you had to do was just touch it for the
shots
deflection. There it
in.
is.
Valfini.
Valfini.
Valfini just stayed with it.
Valfini puts it off the right post, squirts all the way over, hits the left side netting.
Val with his second goal on the year and gives Young Harris a 2-0 lead. Just stayed with that one. Thought it was going to go in on the kick from the side, but Young Harris just stayed with it, and Val comes through, and Mr. Solid gets rewarded with his second goal of the season and the second goal of the game. And Young Harris got a 2-goal lead as Sondre Olsen will check back in. He'll come in for Seba Andreasen. But tall mountain to climb now for USC Aiken. A man down 2 goals, right?
Yes, sir. That's a near impossible mountain.
That goal scored by Young Harris, number 8, Val Feeney. His second of the season at a time of 80:07. Young Harris leads 2-0.
Came at 80:07, so we're inside of 10 minutes. As Olsen gets knocked down from behind, quickly back up. Now, John, if you're USC Aiken now, you just got to throw caution to the wind and really got to start going, really picking it up. But that's going to really leave some open lanes for Young Harris on the offensive end, correct?
It most definitely will, Tommy. I mean, Young Harris right there, Olsen almost found him a lane as it was. And that's without stretching.
Zacharnis Simon, sophomore out of St. Lucia, getting ready to check in. He'll come in for Killian Martin.
Another clock stoppage. Referee decides to issue a card on that one.
Long game today. Got off to a late start, and we have been here a while.
57, yellow on Wayne.
It's a good game to get Burnsy and Macca back in, let them get their legs back underneath them, get some game fitness.
Yeah, so good to see the both out there, and you got some tough games coming up. Connor Stanley getting ready to check back in. There it is again. Down to Brandstrom from Mack. Right off his chest. Keep it in play. So Connor Stanley going to re-enter. He was in the first half. Came in when Carlos Gomez got hurt. And I think he's going to go in for Carlos.
I believe he is.
Carlos with the game's first go.
Coming in for Young Harris, number 13, Connor Stanley.
Do you think a good percentage of soccer players will one day be referees? Because they lobby for every call.
I wish that were the case, Tommy, especially when I was a referee assigner for this area.
Uh-huh.
I was always at a shortage of officials.
Always?
Yes. I mean, there is a percentage, but I would not say that it's
We're
a
not
high
high.
percentage.
Okay. Because there's sure a lot of them good officials when they're playing, aren't they?
Well, they sure think they
Coming
are.
in for Aiken, number 14, Giuseppe Simino.
Giuseppe Semino. Love that name. Giuseppe Semino. Vanderplume, Yessen's been out there the whole contest, correct?
I believe he has.
I don't
yes.
remember him coming out. Foul makes a nice little give over on the right side to
Olsen continues
Branstrom.
his run. Ends up tripping over the ball just inside the Pacer penalty area.
Foul steals the ball back.
Burnsy fouled hard just outside the penalty area right at the corner.
Carl springs up quickly, though. That's a good sign. Carl came in the other day and said he needed to learn about Southern living and Southern eating. I said, well, you're from the south part of Sweden. It shouldn't be any problem for you.
I'm not real sure that he's wanting the same fermented fish that they offer there that as opposed to what the southern food we have here.
Okay. Young Harris setting up from the right side. Going to be Mack. Or it's going to be Danny Fisher.
Fisher with the
Fisher
left,
left.
off the crossbar.
Staying with it, though, young Harris.
I think the keeper got a touch on it, pushed it off of the crossbar. That was a well taken free kick. Good job by the keeper to get the save.
Yeah, and then Val comes back with another shot on goal and got it again. So good work down in the goal for Chavarria. Connor kicks the ball nearly out on the baseball field.
Connor live at Leeds Stanley, unable to keep it in.
That's him. Live at Leeds. Had to go home and listen to that the other night.
And we've got another clock stoppage, and we're back now.
Coming in for Aiken, number 2, Edgar Zambrano.
Not sure that I've ever seen a match where we've had this many clock stoppages.
Yeah, and I know you've seen a lot of them. I mean, I've had some of these games that my wife said, "You home already?"
I mean, I'm sure I've seen matches with more time of actual stoppage, but never this many different stoppages.
Right.
Usually if you've got this much stoppage time, it's because there was a somewhat serious injury.
Sure.
But that's, you know, mostly a stoppage all at once. Olsen finds a gap between the two defenders.
Gonna try to set Mikey up. Shot coming. Good job by the goalie. Staying with it, Olsen.
Mikey with a well-driven right-footed shot that was dipping at the end. Took everything the keeper had just to stay behind it. Ricochets. Olsen with the shot deflected off of a defender. Young Harris gets a corner. And looks like it'll be Danny Fisher for a left-footed in-swinger. Got some positives out of this one, Tommy.
Yes.
It's not been the most pleasant game to watch, but we've had many positives. Keeper got a touch on that.
Yeah. I tell you, just see Mack and especially see Carl because we hadn't seen Carl this year.
We get Macca and Carl both back. They're able to have a fairly easy time starting to get their legs back underneath them.
And it was also good to see Carlos come back into the second half.
We did not lose Carlos, exactly. You and I both know we get to keep one starter and get 2 more back off of the injured list, and we need all of them for the Peach Belt
Absolutely.
schedule.
Young Harris is really keeping the ball down in its own goal area here in these last few minutes.
Ball finds its way to Mikey. He's very displeased with himself that he didn't get the shot off in time. Defender got a toe poke on it. This will be the first match that Mikey hasn't
It will
scored.
be. It will be.
I know he was hoping to keep that streak going.
So we've still got about 2 minutes here that Lightning, no, I don't want to say that. Definitely don't want to say that.
No, that's enough of that word, Tommy.
Yeah, we've had enough of that word for 1 year. Yeah. Don't count your chickens before they hatch on Mikey.
Rowe with the header.
Oh, and he wanted it. He wanted that one.
One minute remaining.
And there's the 1 minute. Mike putting the ball down the field. Mikey, you might get another look here. Olsen coming.
Well-driven shot, handled well by the Pacer keeper, just able to deflect it.
He's been good today, John.
He has. He's been a bright spot for the Pacers for sure.
Generally, where does USC Aiken fall in the pecking order amongst Peach Belt teams?
Mid-table, I believe.
Mid-table. And you see what a quality team. One of the better, well, I don't know. The few games I've got a chance to see, I think this is the best team I've saw that we've played in the games that I saw.
It's definitely one of the better.
Oh, Mikey still wanting
10,
it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And so it comes to an
Your
end. I
final
think we're going to get
score,
one
Young
more
Harris
lecture
2,
here after the game.
USC Aiken
But
0.
Young Harris 2-0 victory, John.
Keeper took exception to Mikey Rowe there at the very end, and I think the referee's just doing a good job of stepping in right there, making
Absolutely.
sure nothing happens after the fact.
No need for anything extracurriculars. Game's over. Young Harris wins
Your
2-0.
return to action
A goal in the
Wednesday.
first
Baseball
half from
League,
Carlos
North Carolina
Gomez
take
on an
the
assist
line
from
at
Mikey
5
Rowe.
p.m. contest.
Val Feeney unassisted in the second half. Big win for Young Harris. Peach Belt opener. We're 1-0 in the Peach Belt, 7-0 overall. A lot of positives, but I think we would agree that the best thing we saw was getting Carl Brandstrom out on the field and also getting Mac back out there. Our lads are starting to get their pieces, everybody healthy and together at the time when you want your people to be healthy and full strength when it comes conference time.
They're getting everybody back healthy. They're getting their confidence built up. They're also getting chemistry together as a team. All the pieces are starting to fall into place, Tommy.
Okay, so on a winning day, 2-0, Young Harris will next hit the road against Lenore Ryan. That will be Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and then we will be in action next Saturday. Conference game, 7 p.m. when Georgia Southwestern comes to call. Georgia Southwestern 2-4-1 on the season. They are in action today against Clayton State. That game's probably already over. It was a 3:30 start. Our women will be in action Wednesday at home against Columbus State. So on a winning day, John, your final thoughts on this one?
Let's just keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. 2-0 your final score. Young Harris over USC Aiken in Peach Belt opener. We will see you next week. No Gherkins.